Welcome to another girl chat video. I always am so grateful just for these videos because I feel like it's a way for us to really connect and just, I don't know, end the month in the best way. So if you guys are new here, these little girl chat videos are pretty much just videos where I answer questions that you guys send to me either in DMs or in the comments. So comment any questions below if you guys want me to answer them for the next video. I do one video per month of this little like chatty vibe. I just feel like it makes us closer, you know, like I learn more about you, like things that you guys are either going through or things that are going on in your life, and you guys can learn more about me, and I just think that that's really cool. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok if you guys don't already, because I share over there every day. Tons on stories, and you guys get to see a little different side of my life that I feel like you guys don't see here, just like more of the everyday in the moment type stuff. So yeah, let's just get into the questions. So I'm going to start with the questions that you guys left in the comments of the last video, and again, if you guys have questions for the next video, just leave them in the comments and then I will pull up the video and just go through them. One of the questions you guys said was, what is one goal that I want to achieve next year? And I think the biggest goal for myself is just learning to love where I am and learn how to be still. I have such a hard time with stillness and also a hard time with relaxing, and I feel like I only do it whenever I'm either on vacation or I like specifically take time off for usually honestly vacation. But I want to find more pockets throughout the day to just be still, maybe just sit outside, listen to the birds, read a book, maybe paint, just really connect with like my, I don't want to say inner child, but connect with the things that I used to do as a child. I feel like we let go of those things as we get older, like just spinning in circles just because it's fun, or climbing trees just because it's fun. We let go a lot of that as we get older, and I think that it kind of makes us just so like work focused and focused on the next day, focused on the future, and not focused in the present or in the moment. So that is one of my biggest goals for the new year, and I know it'll be really tough because I do struggle with relaxing and stuff, but I think it'll be really rewarding if I can just like truly figure out how to do that. And I feel like I take little solo dates and I do get moments of stillness and quiet, but I don't want to reserve those moments of stillness and quiet only when I'm on a little solo date. I want that to happen every day because I feel so much more at peace when I'm relaxing, and even if it's just for 10 minutes or 5 minutes per day, I really want to make it a point to do that. And as you guys know, I haven't been like traveling as much, and so I think going into the new year, I probably will continue to learn to love where I live more. And I think that that is something that is hard for me because I haven't really had the itch to travel, but I find that I have the itch to travel when either things aren't going right or I want a new experience, and it's hard for me to find new experiences in my own town because I just don't think to look for them. But like not that long ago, I literally was walking outside reading, and that was a new experience for me, and it was incredible. So I want to try to do more new experiences to learn how to be still. Another question that you guys had, you said that you personally would love a wedding video, like a specific one because you're getting married next year, or any advice or inspo would be amazing. I would say the biggest tip or advice would be to like completely forget everything you've learned about weddings, like completely forget it, and just think about what you want your day to look like when you celebrate your love with your partner, and however that looks, whether you guys decide to do that in a park or whether you decide to, I don't know, you could do a freaking wedding camping trip. I don't know. I feel like we have such strict rules of what a wedding should look like that it almost like inhibits our creativity. And I think the more that we like really tap into that, like, I don't know, creative juices that are there, but we just think that those things aren't maybe wedding appropriate, I think that that's when you'll get the best wedding for you, because it's something that you genuinely love and it's not coming from what people are telling you to do. Also, just like little tidbits, I think getting a specific wedding email is great. I didn't do that for my wedding, and I wish that I did, because people will send you emails to like your regular email and sometimes you can miss them, or like later on in the year when you need to come back to an invoice and you're trying to like scroll through and find it, it's hard to find it. So I would personally make like a specific wedding email and then just use that email. I also have a video with like 10 tips for weddings that is very old. It is very, very old, but it actually has really good tips in it. It was my first video I ever made on this channel, so I will link it. Don't come for me because it is, I mean, it's old and I definitely was not comfortable in front of the camera, but it has really good tips in it, and that was one of the tips that was in the video. So I will link that video if you guys need some more wedding advice. But just remember that the wedding of your dreams will only come if you tap into like what you actually want to do and not what people are telling you that you should do. So I got a couple questions that were in my DMs, and if you guys ever want to ask a question that you just don't feel comfortable maybe sharing online, you can always DM me on Instagram. I answer every single question. One of the questions you said was, how do you manage friendships with your marriage, etc.? Or example, do you only have married friends, girls and boys nights, etc.? So I manage my friendships in the exact same way that I managed them before I was married, after I'm married. And I feel like people kind of think that once you're married, your relationships with your friends should be different, and I personally don't think that. I think that when you get married to someone, they should just be an extension of like love in your life, and they shouldn't really change your life. So if you're someone who goes out a ton, or someone who wears certain clothes, or who maybe hangs out with the girls until 3 a.m. and does sleepovers, like I think that that version of you should also continue into like marriage. I don't think that you should have to change yourself to be with someone or to be like connected to someone. So my friendships, I definitely will say that they have grown over the years. They're definitely different than they used to be when I was like 19. And they're definitely different than they were, you know, in 2018 when I first got married, but that has nothing to do with being married. It's more because I've just grown as a person. So I think that the best way to manage friendships, whether you're married or not married, is to be very intentional about those friendships. I always try to either reach out to my friends by text or FaceTime or call, or even just sending them TikToks. I try to do that once a week if I can. It is very hard to do, just because there's only 7 days in the week. And I told you guys that one of my goals for the new year and the end of this year is to really connect with my siblings in a different way than I ever have. And I have 5 of them, plus a niece, nieces, nephews. So time just, you know, goes by quickly, but with Brady, we always do 1 date night per week, and that's a specific time for us to connect. We always do like a fun date, maybe like a picnic or watching the sunset or something. And I think that friends should be the same way. You guys have seen that I hang out with Taylor a lot. She obviously lives here, but you guys have also seen where I've had little days where I'll paint bookmarks with friends, or we'll go out to eat together, or we'll watch The Bachelor on Mondays or something like that. And I think that it's really important to make sure you have dedicated time with friends. It is very hard to do, but you just have to be intentional about it. So that would be my biggest tip, is to just be very intentional with your friendships, and try not to think about how much they're reaching out to you or maybe how little they're reaching out to you, but just think about how important the friendship is to you. And if you value the friendship, then do your very best to be a good friend to them. And then if you don't value the friendship, then maybe you need to reevaluate and see if they are a good friend in your life. But I think that everyone goes through waves, and friendships kind of ebb and flow over time, but you have to put in the work to keep and build a friendship. And so the biggest thing is, I would just say, just be intentional. Sometimes we all go out together, the girls and guys. Sometimes the girls just come over and we'll watch a show together, or, you know, we'll have a sunset picnic or something. And then sometimes I'll just hang out with one friend and be very intentional with that. So it's a variety of things, I think, but the biggest tip I would give is to just be very, very intentional. Maybe write it on your calendar or set something up 3 weeks in advance just to make sure that you hang out with that friend. The next thing that I got wasn't really a question, but it was a comment, and you said, I love how confident you are now, especially living in an environment where you don't look like everyone else. I'm so proud of you, and thank you. I appreciate that so much. It is very difficult to be a Black person and a Black woman, especially in a city that doesn't really value the beauty of Black women. I don't think that anyone is like mean towards Black people specifically, but I definitely think that I've had to learn my own beauty outside of the people that live in this town, like natural hair. There are not very many people with natural hair here. It's just a different experience. So I appreciate that so much. It's taken a lot of work to get to where I am and how I feel about myself. Another question that was asked, it says, I moved to a new area and I'm an introvert. My partner has friends here, but I don't. I've realized that I don't do the things I used to do because I don't have friends here. Where would you suggest that I start to go alone? I've been to the gym and spa and things. That's a big question. So first I would say, think about what you love to do. Like, do you like to paint? Do you like to go see movies? Do you like to read books? I personally love reading books. So I usually kind of form my solo dates around books. So I'll go to the library, I'll go to coffee shops and read my book there. I'll go like literally drive out of town just to go to a new bookstore just to see the books there. So that really brings me so much joy. And I think that sometimes when we think of doing things alone, we think of doing things that we have to do alone. So like maybe going to the gym, which I also do alone. But I think when you are wanting to spend dedicated time by yourself and learn to love your alone time, you have to do things that you actually love. And personally, I don't love the gym. So if I only did the gym by myself, I wouldn't love my alone time, you know? So I think that you have to think about what you love. If you love to paint or you love art, maybe go to like a ceramic studio and like build one of those little like, I don't know, clay bowls, or do like a little paint night at a ceramic studio, or go to a paint night where you like pay and there's a teacher and there's a canvas and then you like paint the picture. Things like that, especially in group settings, I also think are a great way to build friendships, especially if you're by yourself. I cannot tell you guys, like truly in all my videos, for the most part, I'm by myself. You guys do see me with friends, but unless I'm showing you a friend in a video, for the most part, I'm by myself. And I go and do things alone a lot, but I also get asked to hang out like by people I've never met all the time because I'm doing things alone. And I think being by yourself, people are like a little bit more disarmed and they're like more comfortable talking to you if you are by yourself. Like I literally went to a coffee shop the other day and I was like playing with a puzzle and just like kind of soaking in and doing things that I feel like my childhood self would love. And a lady who's at the coffee shop, she came up to me and talked to me for like 30 minutes. And then she like went and did like her own thing. And then another girl came up, she was like around my age, and we talked for like 20 minutes. And I think that the more things that you do alone, especially in spaces, doing things you love, like reading books or doing like art night things, or I don't know, just doing things that you love, I think you'll find people who also love similar things to you. So if you love fitness, like doing yoga or working out, go to classes, and I'm sure you'll meet other people who love the things that you also love. So that would be my biggest tip for like learning to love your alone time, is to do things that you actually love to do. And you'll find that the more you do those things, like the more it feels so normal, and you'll actually crave that alone time. Like if I don't get my solo dates, like, or like alone time, I literally am like cranky. I'm like, I need it. And I am extremely extroverted, but I think because I've made that a habit, I like am just so used to getting time alone that I literally need it now. So I don't know. I think that doing things that you love in spaces that you love are great, but they're also great ways to build friendships. I have met so many of my friends in the most odd ways. Like one of my friends, I literally met her. I went to a, what's it called? It's like a restaurant, but it has like beer and it has like pizza and whatever. It kind of has like more of a bar feel, but they have like trivia night there. And I went, and she was standing in line, and I just was like, oh my God, I love your top. And she's like, thanks so much. And then we got to talking, and then now we're friends and we like hang out all the time. I don't know, I just feel like long gone are the days of building friendships in college, or building friendships, like, at least for me, because I'm out of college, or building friendships in Girl Scouts or whatever. You have to really be like, I don't know, comfortable talking to people or doing things alone to build friendships. But I also think that a lot of people only want to do things in groups. And I mean, how awkward would it be if I had like a group of 7 people and then like someone was gonna try and come up and talk to me? Like, that's kind of intimidating. But if you're by yourself, like reading a book by yourself or doing something by yourself, people will gravitate towards you. It's such a weird thing, but it happens all the time. So just try doing things that you love in spaces that you love, and I feel like you'll find more people who also love the same things as you. And if you don't, then you'll just find like more ways to love your alone time because you're doing something that you love. Another question that I got says, life advice, question mark, especially for those of us in our mid to late 20s. This kind of goes back to what I said in the last question, but I wish that someone told me like in my mid 20s to learn how to love myself. And I don't want to say I wish that they had told me to love myself, because they definitely did, but I wish that someone had taught me how to learn how to love myself. And I think the biggest ways to learn to love yourself are to, one, you need to do things that make you uncomfortable. Like if you don't like wearing bikinis because maybe you don't love your body, start wearing bikinis. If you don't like walking around without makeup on or nails, start doing that. I feel like that's the biggest tip I can give, is learn to love yourself, because it will just totally change your life when you, I don't know, make a point to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got some insight from some of the chats that we've had and questions I've answered. If you guys have any other questions for the next video, it'll be the end of January. Leave your questions in the comments below, and yeah, I'll answer every single one, literally. And if you want to ask something that you don't want maybe other people to see, just send me a DM and I will answer that question here on this video. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.